Okay, so you know how sometimes it feels like you're living in a shoebox?
Oh, yeah.
Like no matter how much you tidy up, stuff just seems to multiply.
Right.
Yeah. Well, in this deep dive, we're tackling small space living.
Oh.
But not just surviving in a small space. We're talking about thriving.
Ooh, thriving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're looking at ways to make it stylish and super functional. And our guide for this is Home Hacks and Handiwork.
Oh, I love that book. So many cool ideas.
Yeah, it's full of really practical DIY tips.
Yeah.
And they're not, those over-the-top aspirational kind of things.
No, like you could actually do these.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's start with their first big idea.
Okay.
Thinking vertically.
Oh, that's crucial in a small space.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone's heard that tip before.
You always hear, think vertically, think vertically.
But do people actually do it?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to just keep stacking things on the floor.
It's the path of least resistance.
Totally. But Home Hacks and Handiwork gives you really specific ways to go vertical.
Okay, so like what?
So say you've got a tiny kitchen.
Always a problem area.
Right. So instead of cramming all your spices into a drawer, you put up some floating shelves. Boom. Instant stylish spice rack.
And you free up so much counter space.
Exactly.
That's like you magically gain square footage.
Right. Or think about your entryway. If it's always cluttered with coats and bags,
Ooh, the worst.
they suggest putting up a row of wall hooks.
I love that idea.
Yeah, it gets everything off the floor and keeps things organized.
Speaking of making the most of your space, let's talk furniture.
Okay.
In a small space,
Yeah.
you really can't afford to have bulky pieces that just take up space.
No, you want every piece to work hard.
Exactly. And Home Hacks and Handiwork is all about choosing furniture that can pull double or even triple duty.
Oh, yeah, multifunctional furniture.
Like those ottomans with storage inside.
Oh, yeah, perfect for hiding blankets.
Or, all those off-season clothes you don't need cluttering up your closet.
Exactly.
They also talk about tables that fold down when you're not using them.
Oh, yeah, those are lifesavers.
And then there's the ultimate space-saving furniture.
Okay, let me guess.
A sofa that turns into a bed.
Of course.
So smart.
Perfect for small apartments.
Now, even with the best multifunctional furniture, there's still the issue of storage.
That's always the struggle.
Where do you put all your stuff?
Right.
Home Hacks and Handiwork has a whole section on clever storage solutions.
Okay, fill me in.
Well, first they remind us about the classic underbed storage.
Always a good one.
And then they get into some more creative ideas like using stackable boxes.
Oh, that's good for maximizing vertical space in your closets.
Yeah, and then they even get into hidden compartments.
Ooh, secret storage.
I know, right? It sounds kind of mysterious.
Like you're a spy or something.
Exactly.
So what kind of hidden compartments are we talking about?
Well, they have this one idea I love where you utilize the space under your coffee table.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of coffee tables have that empty space underneath.
Just wasted space.
Totally.
Yeah.
So they suggest putting some stylish baskets down there.
Oh, that's cute and functional.
Yeah, you can stash extra blankets or magazines or anything you want.
Out of sight, but still easy to access.
Exactly. They also talk a lot about drawer organizers,
Those are key for keeping things tidy.
especially in a small space. Everything has to have its place.
Otherwise, it just becomes chaos.
And the great thing about Home Hacks and Handiwork is that they have lots of pictures.
Oh, that's so helpful.
So you can really visualize how these ideas would work in your own space.
It makes it much less intimidating.
Okay, so we've talked about thinking vertically, choosing smart furniture, and maximizing storage.
Hitting all the major points.
But there's one more big piece of the puzzle:
What's that?
decorating.
Oh, yeah. It's tricky in a small space.
You want it to feel stylish and personal.
But not cluttered.
Exactly.
It's a fine line.
And thankfully, Home Hacks and Handiwork has some great tips for this too.
Like what?
Well, first they talk about using mirrors.
Ah, the classic mirror trick.
I know it's been around forever, but it really works.
It makes a space feel bigger and brighter.
Exactly. They also recommend sticking to light colors for your walls.
Oh, yeah. Dark colors can make a small space feel even smaller.
And then they say, don't underestimate the power of a few well-chosen plants.
A little greenery can go a long way.
It just adds so much life and vibrancy.
Yeah, it makes it feel more homey.
And when it comes to decorating a small space,
Yeah.
it's really about being intentional.
Right, not just filling every corner with stuff.
So maybe you choose a statement rug to define an area.
Oh, yeah, that can really ground a space.
Or you could put up one piece of art that you absolutely love.
Something that speaks to you.
Exactly. It doesn't take much to make a big impact.
No less is definitely more in a small space.
So I think we've learned a lot from this deep dive into Home Hacks and Handiwork.
Yeah, it's packed with good stuff.
And the main takeaway is that living in a small space doesn't have to mean sacrificing style or functionality.
No, you can have both.
By thinking vertically, choosing multifunctional furniture, getting creative with storage, and being thoughtful about your decor.
You can create a space that feels amazing.
Exactly. And it actually makes me think, we focused on maximizing the space you already have.
Yeah.
But what if you could actually create more space?
Oh, that's interesting.
Like home hacks and handiwork. Touches on some DIY projects that are a bit more involved.
Okay.
Things like building a Murphy bed or even adding a loft platform.
So changing the actual structure of your space.
Yeah. And it made me wonder if people are really maximizing the potential of their homes.
It's something to think about for sure.
Yeah, could you add a whole new room with a loft?
It might be possible.
It's definitely something to consider. So as you go forth on your small space design journey,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to think big,
I love that.
even if you live in a tiny apartment.
Tiny space, big dreams.
Exactly.